Hello and welcome to this video where I'll be showing how I like to go from grayscale to color. This is not going to be a really in-depth video because this is just how I do it, and I like to do things really quickly when it comes to art. So if you're looking for something more in-depth, I recommend checking out another video on this. So there are many different ways to go from grayscale to color, but there are two that I like to use, and that is gradient map and then a color layer. And I'm going to be trying to show these two right now. So the first one is gradient map, and I like to put everything in one layer. If you want things to be different colors, you can also have different layers for each thing, but I recommend having a white background at least. If you don't, you're going to be losing that value, and gradient map does not change your values, so it's important to have that. And then you click on adjustments and gradient map, and that's how you open that. You start with a lot of pre-made gradients, which are really good actually, and it's easy to just pick one of these, but you can also make your own if you have something very specific in mind. And to do that, you click on the X on top of the gradient map, and then you get this scale from black to white because these are the colors that we have in the drawing. And then you can first click on the darkest shade and then choose what color you would like it to be. I chose this nice reddish brown, and then you click on the lightest color and choose what color you would like to be the lightest. Then after that, you can click on different places of the gradient and choose your midtones and other colors. So I chose this skin color for the lighter tones, and then I add some new gradients, like this one that I like to be a bit more reddish brown, and then I add one last one that I wanted to be a funky color just for fun. So I chose this kind of purple color for the shadows. You can also always change the placement of the little dots to get different effects. Then when I'm satisfied with that, I just click done, and then we have this nice little gradient map. You can also work more with this if you want, and I'll be showing that a bit later, but first I want to go through how to do the colored layer. So this is a super easy technique and super effective, so it works really quickly and you can have the drawing done in half an hour or less. So you don't have to do this, but I like to put everything on one layer, and then you can just add a new layer, click on the little N, which is for a normal layer, and then you scroll almost all the way down until you find color. Then you can go out of the layer, and now you can just start coloring. So this is super easy and does not change the values of your grayscale, so it's important that you have some great values. I, for example, could never have made the character have darker skin tone because I made the gray quite light and it just wouldn't work. So if you want a darker skin tone, for example, you would have to have a darker gray as a base before you go into the color layer. Here you can also add more blush and other colors if you want. So here I feel like you have a lot more control than, for example, if you work with gradient map. The color layer is my absolute favorite way to go from grayscale to color, but there are a lot of different ways other than this, and there's also some problems with it. For example, if you had a background, the background would also get colored. Because I have a white background, it doesn't affect me. So if you have a background or other places that you would like to color without affecting the other places, then you can either select the different parts that you would like to color, or you can make a clipping mask. To add the clipping mask, you first add a layer above where you would like to color, and then you click on it and click on clipping mask. After you've done that, you can add it to color, and then you only color what the layer is above. So in this case, it's the eyes. So that was it for the colored layer method, but you can always put the gradient map and the colored layer method together. As you can see here we have the gradient map that we made earlier, and then I just add a colored layer above that, and then I can color it or make these details that I could not get with the gradient map, because with the gradient map you're just gonna get a gradient. So if you want different colors or to make your drawing really pop, I definitely recommend adding both these techniques together to make something a bit more interesting to look at. So that is pretty much it for today's video. This is how I do grayscale to color. I hope you learned something. I hope this was helpful to someone out there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next week. Goodbye!